Hello, everybody, once again, and welcome back to another edition of the Tefillah Awareness Shiur. My name is R Yehudah Schwartz, and it's an honor and a privilege to be giving this shiur 2 times a week in English, 2 times a week in Yiddish, covering the gamut of Tefillah, whether it's a halacha aspect or the hashkafa aspect, week after week. Baruch Hashem, we're going strong in this. We're going to continue going strong in this. Mitzvah Hashem. Today is shiur number 26, the acronym for Yid K Vav K. So the gematria of 26 is Yid K Vav K. So it's a special shiur, and we're gonna go into, as we do each and every week, the second shiur involves in Orches Yosher from Kanievsky, going through the halachas of Tefillah. But some of them this week are short, so we're going to do a bunch today, actually, and then a short story to conclude. So with that said, let's pick up where we left off from last week, up to Ches, in the halachas of Tefillah, which Rav Kanievsky discusses the importance people need to be more aware of. Ba'boker, every morning, Yeshlema moide an lefnecho Hashem le'kad le'kayavsai shohitzayin ma'afel yoda. Every morning we should say, I'm gratefully thank you Hashem, my God and God, my forefathers, that you have removed me from darkness to light. Also, number test, Kishaimer, Aite Sab Sephora, he mashes with Tefillin. When the Rambam says the bracha, Aite Sab Sephora, and the bracha Shachar, we say every single morning, you should touch his Tefillin. But also, you should know, Aite Sab Gevurah, most people do that also, by the Shalyad. The Aite Sab Sephora is done with by the Shalosh, just as on a side note. Yud. When saying the portion of the Korban Tamid, together with the tzibur, one should be standing. Yud Aleph. Big one coming up. B'shas brochas v'kadosh also lasses after shemlocha kala. It's usher to be involved even a minor activity during a brocha or kaddish. Big one. That's a biggie. Next one, Yud Beis. B'shas Kaddish, during Kaddish. Osir, I feel it l'harher b'divrei Torah. Was not allowed to learn or even think Torah thoughts. That also means, quote for myself, not reading pamphlets, the Gilyonis, which many people do. I try my hardest to actually stop that now because I've seen this before. Also, it's also in the halachas in the Shulchan Aruch as well. In Maseh B'Chassid Echad, the story was about a devout man, Shiro Chaveri, who was seen after his death by his friends. His face is green. And he explained to them, God is attribution for speaking during Kaddish. So quoted in Mishnah Berurah. Not a joke, by the way. Talking during Kaddish is a big no-no. If someone does this, go to them in a soy. Even though it does not say that in the Shulchan Aruch, Mishnah Berurah, but it's known to be that there were times I saw people talking during Kaddish. When I say Kaddish now for my uncle, or let's say randomly I say Kaddish after a layer when there's no other people saying Kaddish. So I've seen people talk and I stop the Kaddish purposely and the whole place gets quiet. So it has been done before, it's been seen before. So again, I'll say it one more time. B'shas Kaddish also afil lahar divrei Torah. During Kaddish also to even parts of Torah also. No talking at all. And Maseh B'Chassid Echad, and the stories of Chassid, that he saw his friend, his face was green. They said to him, there's a punishment because he's talking during Kaddish. Next, we'll do another 3 more and then we'll stop. Hamdabe Bekviyas. If one regularly speaks about other matters while like the tzibur is praising Hashem, I feel like even if it says those praises already, or plans to say it later, he has a song in the service of Hashem. A mitzvah loimer called Dova b'yachad im tzibur. There's a mitzvah to say everything together with the tzibur. Kimavoyor b'shach orach, as is brought down in the shach orach, in a bunch of places. And it says also, multitude of people of Hashem's glory. V'chazal, hermiyim mu'oid, al perish min hatzibur. Al Chama have warned sharply against one who isolates himself from the masses. So we see from here, Boisai, that if someone who's talking to a friend during davening, during Psikut Zimra, as we'll discuss, we had discussed it also extensively. Any point during davening, any time when the tzibur is praising to Hashem, and there's some people who are making kipkas and they start talking and schmoozing away. Says it is a person who is embarrassing Hashem and is being dishonored. And it's a big mitzvah to say it together with the tzibur, as Bodan Shulchan Aruch. And then Chazal even mentions also one last thing, that someone who talks in shul, someone who's talking during when the tzibur is very davening, is punished by the tzibur. Is separate from the masses. Two left. Number Yudalit. Mitzvah la'ameh b'shas kaddish. Mitzvah to stand during kaddish. V'gam b'chol davar sha'akol nagel la'amoid. In any part of davening which the congregation has custom to stand. Even if it's only a stringency. Misha Yosef, whoever is sitting, and the punishment at Tzibur is the punishment at Tzibur. He separates himself from the masses, and Vazikov Shemaim is dishonor and lowering Hashem's dignity. V'gam over al Masha Amru, he also violates the rabbinic rule. Says here, Alti Yisha Ben Memdim. Do not sit among those who are standing. And lastly, but not least for this week, we discussed it extensively last week's shiur in the Shulchan Aruch, actually. P'sukei Zimra should be said calmly and not hurriedly, which I've seen a lot of it lately. If I would just slow down somebody, the guy look at me, why am I doing that for? Me, the guy runs out of shul, I can't have a chance to explain him what it says in his forum. Again, P'sukei Zimra should be said calmly and not hurriedly. Shulchan Aruch, Orach Chaim, Siman Alf Sivches. Shazeh ki envaze shevcha shel mokam. They'll dishonor the praises of Hashem. We'll stop here for now. There's a lot to talk about, and we're going to continue this in the next shiur of next week, Mitzvah Hashem. Now we'll close with a very short story from Tefillah, but the Maggid and Tefillah by Pesach Kron. So we say, Rabbi Shmuel Eimer, towards before Pesach Zimra starts, for Kasher Rabbanan, he says Yotzim Naklal. We say that by Rabbi Shmuel Eimer, Yotzim Naklal. So there's a little story on this. Well, as you check it out, what it is. Chosen for destiny. In the spring of 1970, a new elementary yeshiva was being built in Ashdod, Eretz Yisrael. Local community dwellers were intrigued when they heard that a Mexican Jew, Shlomo Montorovitz, the name was actually changed probably for identity, was the primary founder of the building. Why would someone with no connection to Ashdod make such a huge contribution? People wanted, but no one knew. The edifice was built with alacrity and efficiency, and soon the program was for Chekus Abayis, and local ceremony on a Sunday morning was announced. Local Abbam were invited to speak, listed in the order of their appearance, but the speaker almost everyone wanted to hear was the Mexican Jew, who would likely explain why he chose to fund this beautiful yeshiva building. What Shlomo said was memorable, original, and illuminating. After his introductory remarks, he told this remarkable story. Shlomo was born in Europe in the 1930s. will have 7 siblings. Tragically, all his siblings lost their lives during the Holocaust. Only he and his parents survived the war. Because his father, Shimon, had important business connections, he was able to escape Europe and come to America. He tried numerous business ventures, but unfortunately none were successful. Shimon, or Sam, as he was known in America, had a brother-in-law, Arturo Fain, in Mexico. Arturo was prosperous and he invited Sam to join him there. Arturo was part of the Orthodox Jewish community of Tikem Jalako, and that is where Shlomo grew up. As he grew up, Shlomo also often wondered why he merited to survive the Holocaust while his 6 brothers and sisters were killed. He missed his siblings and was troubled and puzzled by his situation. Surely he thought he must be alive for a purpose, but what is it? So one morning after davening Shachris, he was saying the Bryce of Shmuel at the end of Kabbanis, and it says the following: Kol davar shoyer b'chol v'yotzei kol alamed. Anything that was included in the general statement was a signal out from the general statement. L'lamed el atzma yotzo, in order to teach something. L'lamed el atzma yotzo was not singled out to teach only by itself. El lamed el kol yotzo, but applied its teaching to the entire generality. Shlomo thought that he could apply this principle to himself. On his own level, he understood it this way: if someone was part of a group and was singled out from the group, it was not merely for his own benefit, but so that he should enhance the entire group. Shlomo understood that if Hashem has spared only him, it couldn't just be for his personal benefit. It must be that he should do something to benefit many other Jews. Shlomo felt there was nothing more beneficial than ensuring the future of Klal Yisrael. That could happen only when children will have wonderful yeshivas, where they will be taught about the legacy of Yiddishkeit. And what better place to do this than Eretz Yisrael? In Europe, Shlomo's father had often davened in a Gerish Dibuch and revered the rabbis in Masorah. So when Shlomo heard that the Geri community in Ashdod needed a yeshiva building for its children, he decided that he would be its major supporter. And the brother-in-law of Pesach Kron, Shaul Dolinger, who lives in Ashdod, told him that this yeshiva, Beis Yisrael, on the Chanina Ben Dosa Street, is still flourishing almost 50 years. Wow. An unbelievable story about perseverance and putting it in its right place to show people how important it is to keep our roots and down to the Baruch Shalom, and being able to not talk on shul and be able to Yotzei min haklal alamed, as we say in Mishmol Emer every single day. And that said, we should always get bench, but Penosa tzlach gesund, and keep its chus going, and not talking in shul, coming in shul in time, not living in the middle of davening, and not running through davening either. Have a wonderful day.